Here we are, me, David Battenberg Cake, and you, not David Battenberg Cake, ready for another ASMR Nature Ramble. That's right, you can hear the birds there. We are going on a lovely little stroll in the park. See what we can see, hear what we can hear, taste what we can taste, smell what we can smell, touch what we can touch. Probably shouldn't do too much touching though. This is more of an audio experience, so more listen to what you can hear and imagine what you can touch. Like there's this majestic tree here. You can hear the leaves having a little rustle there. And you could touch the leaves. Here you go. Feel a leaf on your face. Oh, that's majestic, isn't it? There we go. Rubbing right in your face there. Oh, thank you, Leafy. Wow, so green and so leafery. Majestic. Do love a leaf rubbing in the face there. Wow. And look what we've got here. Little house. Oh, majestic. There's a little house here on this tree. It's got looks like it's got some suspicious droppings in there. We won't investigate that any further. Don't want to go back to Victoria with a lot of muck on me, do I? No, she'll get very upset. And then she'll say, David, you're not allowed to sleep in this room until you've had a jolly good sugar soap. Which I do like. I do like to have a sugar soap, by the way. It is excellently majestic. Wow. We're going to carry on. I apologise for the wind. And I hope you're okay there, Mr. Doggo. We heard you there. Mr. Birdie. We're going to head in the direction of the birds. I think the birds make for a majestic call. Wow. Here we have a lovely lady in a very pink top, looking very majestic there. Wow. We'll carry on, though. We won't interfere. She's having a majestic time there, walking. Oh, the dog's having a good time too. Thank you, Doggo. Majestic. Here we have a bit more pathway. And, oh, look, coming up now, a little bit more pathway. Wow, we'll turn around here. That's majestic. I hope you're doing well, by the way. I do love you. I hope that you are relaxing and having a nice time listening to me have a little ramble. Maybe got a little story for you. Let's see what we can think of. What stories would you like to hear? Wow, look, actually, before we get into David's story time, I have come across some majestic little purple flowers. Wow, look at these. These are super majestic, super beautiful, would make for a lovely painting you could possibly hang on your wall of me, David Battenberg Cake, in amongst the beautiful flowers. Wow, they also smell delightful. This one here in particular. Wow, what is that cologne you're using, Mr. Bell? That looks majestic. Oh, it smells majestic. Sorry, Mrs. Bell. Oops, got my gender pronouns wrong there. Thank you for forgiving me. That's so very majestic. You are very beautifully coloured, I must admit. I especially like this one down here. Look at that. Wow. Super duper majestic, making my googly eyes go all jiggly with how majestic you are. Wow. I love these colours, and I'm pretty sure that you listening, you love the colours as well. You can't hear colour, but you could try maybe. Here around this corner we have a majestic natural road here cutting across the pathway. There's a car up there. Here we have a majestic poopy dog bin for where you put the poopies. Good work, poopy dog bin. Without you, there'd be a lot more muck absolutely everywhere. And look at that, the majestic dog standing very still there on the front. You could stand on my back there we go, majestic. Lovely to see you, Doggo. Good work holding all that poop in there. We won't open that. We're going to carry on. We're going to see what's round this corner. What do we find? Mr. Crow? Steve? That's Steve there. Classic Steve. Round the corner we go. Into the wilderness. Not so wilder, actually. Bit more Nessie. Like the Loch Ness Monster. Majestic. Did I ever tell you about the time I met the Loch Ness Monster? Oh, it was absolutely majestic it was. We went for a little stroll together around the loch, and the Loch Ness Monster told me, she said, David, you know what, everybody thinks I'm some sort of mythical creature. That would be very strange, wouldn't it? And I said, no, I know you're not a mythical creature. They think the same about me sometimes, Lockie. They say, David, are you a mythical creature? And I say, of course I'm not, I'm a cake. And then they remember, go, that's right, you're a cake. You look like a cake. You don't look like a mythical creature. And I said that to Nessie. I said, Nessie, Lockie, don't worry. All you need to do, make friends with people, and they'll see past the fact that you are a massive lizard, and they'll be your friends. Trust me. Get yourself on TikTok Live. There's absolutely everyone is on TikTok Live. I've met some right fruitcakes on there, and Nessie, you would fit right in. Yeah, I bet you'd be very popular. And so I tried to convince Nessie that she should join TikTok. But she said, no, David, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't take the attention. I couldn't be sitting on that live camera all the time, showing where I was, my location. They'd all know where I was anyway, because I'm the Loch Ness Monster. The clue's in the name. That's right. And I said, you're right, Nessie. Maybe change your name before you go on TikTok. And she said, okay, that's not a bad idea, David. So Lockie investigated, and she came up with the name Not Nessie. So if you find Not Nessie on TikTok, that is actually secretly the Loch Ness Monster. Just thought I'd tell you that. But, you know, she likes to hide, doesn't like to give her identity away. Wow, this is a majestic walk, isn't it, by the way? Look at all this lovely greenery and the sound of the wind there. Oh, majestic. And the birdies. Hello, birdies. Sounding super majestic there. It is always lovely to go for a nature ramble. Never quite know what you're going to find, do you? I mean, on this nature ramble, we currently found nothing. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes finding nothing is good. You wouldn't want to find, say, a dead body. That wouldn't be great. Then you'd have to call the police, and then you'd have to explain. No, I was just going for a ramble, police. That's right, no, I'm David Battenberg, Cake. That's right, I was just having a lovely little nature stroll, and I came across this unfortunate person's body, and I said to them, hello, are you okay there, lying down with, looks like your head missing? And they didn't respond. So I thought I'd better call you and give you the lowdown on it. So that's why I've got you here right now. It's so we could... do you mind if I go now? I need to carry on with my ramble. And they said, no, ever so sorry, David, but we're going to have to ask you a few more questions. Like, first question, did you remove the head from the person? And I said, no, of course not. Why would I do that? That would be a ridiculous thing to do. I am not a decapitator. I am a recapitator. I like to reconnect people with their heads. And the police said, okay, that doesn't make sense, David. There's no such thing as a recapitator. You seem to have made that up. Very majestic of you, I guess. But we're going to have to take you down to the station and ask you a few more questions. So I had to go down to the station with the police, and I spent many, many hours in the fridge. It was very nice of them. They let me stay in the fridge so I could stay cool, you know, being a cake and all. Didn't want to go mouldy while being stuck in the interrogation room. But they did. They took me into the interrogation room after a few hours in the fridge, and they said, David, okay, we need to ask you, where were you on the night of the murder? And I said, what murder? What murder are we talking about here? And they said, the body, the one you found in the woods. Where was I on the night of the... I don't know, what night was he murdered? And they said, well, you were, good work. We were trying to trip you up. We were thinking if you answered there, absolute proof that you were the murderer. And so I managed to avoid getting into trouble just by my classic bit of ignorance there. Good old David sometimes gets myself into and out of scrapes very, very quickly. And that was one of them, that's right. And so yes, if you find Not Nessie on TikTok, that is the Loch Ness Monster, just so you know. Wow, what's going on up here? We're going to go for a little ramble over this way. We are approaching the end of this ramble. It seems to have gone on, it doesn't seem to have gone on very long, does it? This would be the point normally where I would give you magic powers, but you know what? I'm thinking this is going on so well, we're going to make this a two-parter. So I'm not going to bring this to a close in a minute. I'm going to carry on. We are going to ramble. We're rambling further. We've gone off-road now. I don't know if you can tell that. I mean, if you're watching this as a video, you definitely can. If you're just listening, you probably haven't got much of a clue, because you wouldn't have heard the change in the footsteps. Handy is like a ninja with his feet. But we're going to go down here. Wow, look at this. We've found a nice little path leading to a little opening in the trees. Wow. And you know what? This would probably be the absolute most majestic time for me to get ready for part 2. Last 30 seconds. I'm going to warm up. Going to go into the tree line. Wow. This is so exciting. I love this. I love going in the tree line. Look, I'm getting jiggly in the jelly. Victoria, I can't wait to tell Victoria about this. She absolutely loves it when I get to tell her a story about one of my adventures. She absolutely loved the story about Loch Nessie. She was like, oh, David, that's a great story. You didn't make that up, did you? I said, no, of course I didn't. Of course I know Nessie. We're great friends, Victoria. We are. We absolutely are, I promise.